Hi everyone, and thanks for stopping by. This is Gina Mortimer Store, creator of From Passion to Opportunity and the Online Biz Expert. And today I want to show you how to manage your privacy settings on Facebook. And I've decided to do this video because several of my clients have been asking me to show them how to do this, and I thought that there might be others out here who also want to know. So here we go. Let's get started. So of course, the first thing you want to do is to log into your Facebook account if you haven't already done so. And once you've logged in, at the top right hand there's a drop down arrow, and you want to go over there and you want to click on Privacy Settings. So this is the control panel, so to speak, for where you're going to manage your privacy settings in Facebook. So let's look at the first feature, and the first feature is just what it says: control privacy when you post. Now, with some of the recent changes that Facebook has done, they've added this feature that allows you on a post by post basis to indicate to Facebook who should see that post. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. If you go to your timeline, or if you don't have the timeline set up on your profile just yet, just go back over to where your wall is, and if you click on update status, when you go here and you make an entry, there's what they call the inline audience finder or selector. So once you've typed here whatever it is you want to type, you can go, before you hit post, you can go here and you can tell Facebook exactly who is it that you would like to be able to view the post. So you can make it public so that anybody can see it, or if you make it just your friends, only persons who you friended on Facebook, you can do friends except acquaintances. Or if you've created any lists, you can tell Facebook to send it just to those lists. So that is how you control the who sees what on your status update. So let's go back over here now to privacy settings again and look at the second feature. Control your default privacy. Now what this is allowing you to dictate who sees what when you're posting to your status update from something other than Facebook itself. Now, bear something in mind. When you're sending something to Facebook, say from your iPhone or iPad, your BlackBerry, or any other app that's not Facebook, it does not have the inline audience selector that we just looked at. So you want to be careful to make sure that the setting here is exactly what you want it to be, because you won't have the ability to control it on a post-by-post basis the way we just saw. So I have mine currently set at just my friends, but you can change it to public, or you can customize it. And when you select on customization, this is true for nearly every feature that you try to customize. You can tell Facebook in a little more detail how to manage your settings. And you can do just friends of friends, or just your friends, specific people on a list, only you. And you can also, let's say you have friends of friends, but there's somebody that you really don't want among those people to see. You can go in here and you can tell Facebook not to include those people. Say in your friends list, you may have, I can go in here and say, well, let's exclude these 5 people for whatever reason. And Facebook will send it to my friends with the exception of the people that I've added here. But I'm not going to do that because all my friends are cool and I don't mind them seeing it. Okay, so the next thing is, how do you connect? And what this feature does, it allows you to control how you can connect with the people that you friended on Facebook, or that you may know or not know. Anyway, so again, this gives you the option to make a selection based on your friends of friends, your friends, or anybody else. And that would indicate, or that would dictate, who could look up your timeline by your name or your contact information. Also, you can decide who can send you friend requests. And again, it's going to be a question of whether the friends of your friends can send you requests, or if anybody who's on Facebook can send friend requests. Who can send you a Facebook message? Again, it's the same. just your friends, friends of your friends, or anybody else on Facebook? Who can post on your timeline? Is it just you, or is it you and your friends? And you want to think about that. I know some people, and I used to be one of those people who only had myself with the ability to post on my timeline, and I realized that that really was very limiting, and I didn't have good interaction, and so I just have it currently changed to friends only. But if you, let's say you have a youngster in your house who's on Facebook, and hopefully they're over the age of 13, and you want to control who's posting stuff on their timeline, this would be a good way to go in and manage that right there. Okay, and excuse me, who can see posts by others on your timeline? Now, you have friends, your friends are friends, but you know, sometimes you don't want any and everybody posting on your timeline. And you can do so by using this feature. You can make it public, friends of friends, friends, some is with exceptions, or you can use what I did is I customized mine. And currently, I have told Facebook that I would like my friends, however, I've asked them to exclude certain category of friends that I have. And I've set up these lists, and that's going to be a video for another time, but if you already know how to do that, then you can set up lists, you can put your friends into categories, and then you can tell Facebook to eliminate them or only include them in certain functions. Okay, now there's something to remember about this. Even though you may make a selection on who can see posts by others, you want to bear in mind that there are a few categories of things like stories about likes, friendships, and there's some other types of content that will not be protected with this feature. So you just want to be aware of that, and you can do some more research on Facebook to find out exactly what that content is. But I know it's more general things that tend to be like, if you liked, let's say you liked an article on a website, that might be visible to any and everybody. So just bear that in mind when you're out there making selections. Okay, how tags work. With the changes in Facebook, Facebook has now given you the ability to control how the taglines or how the tags work on your timeline. Now bear in mind that the key here is that this only controls what happens on your timeline. So if somebody tags you in a photo or a comment or a note or what have you, you can decide whether or not you want it to stream in your timeline or on your wall. Now bear in mind, and as it says right here, these tags may still appear elsewhere on Facebook. So remember, this is only controlling what appears on your own timeline. So what happens now is when somebody tags you, Facebook sends you a notification saying that you have some pending posts, and you can go in and look at them, and then you can make a decision whether to show them on your timeline or not. So if you check the X, it will not show on your timeline, and of course if you check the check mark, it will show, and you can enable it or disable it by using this drop down right here. If you have it disabled, then whatever you get tagged in will automatically appear on your timeline. If you enable it, then you get a notice and you have the ability to make a selection whether to show it or not on your timeline. And I think that's a really cool feature that they've added. Tag review of tags that friends want to add to your post. Again, if you have this enabled, it allows you to review the tags that friends add to your content before they appear on Facebook. In other words, you can untag yourself before it actually shows up on Facebook with your name included. So when someone who you're not friends with adds a tag to one of your posts, you will always be given the opportunity to review it before it actually shows up. But once you've approved the tag, then the person tagged and their friends can see your post. So bear that in mind, and it gives you a lot more, and some control. But again, remember, nothing is completely foolproof, so you just want to make sure you understand what it is, because I've had people to do this and then they like, oh my goodness, why can't I see this on my timeline? My friend wrote ABC, but I'm not seeing it. And it's because they don't understand that they now have to actually go in and make a selection if they've enabled either one of these tools, the tag review or the timeline review. Okay, maximum timeline visibility of posts you're tagged in once they're on your timeline. Again, what this does, this allows you to dictate who can see the stuff that's on your timeline. The maximum timeline visibility is where they see everything that's there unless you tell Facebook to control who sees what. So if you notice here, I've chosen to customize mine by saying, yes, allow my friends to see it, but I want to exclude certain groups of people that I've set up. So again, you have full control over posts that you're tagged in once they're on your timeline. Tag suggestions. When friends upload photos that they like, when friends upload photos that look like you, again, you have the ability to let your friends see those photos or no one see those photos. And again, Facebook does some kind of checking, I guess, to see if your name appears in something or if the photo that resembles you. And I'm not really sure how they do that, but anyway, you may want to just leave that to friends, or you can make it so nobody sees it at all if you're not comfortable with it and don't quite understand it. Friends can check you into places using the Mobile Places app. Now, I have kept mine off because I really don't want anybody else to be checking me into any place. However, if you do not mind that people can check you into a place, you guys may all be going to a game or a movie or someplace, at the mall, they can check you in because they have the ability. If you turn this on, then it gives the person the ability to see that that's your location and they can check you in. You can remove these from your timeline at any time. So you may decide that, for the time being, because this is a big event and I want people to know I'm here, you may decide to give people the ability to check you in. And then once the event is done, you can always go to your timeline, find it, and then you can remove it from your timeline. Okay. All right, so now let's move on down to apps and websites. Now, again, this is something that, on Facebook, your name, your profile picture, your gender, networks, username, and ID, they are always publicly available, okay? And that includes, all the apps that you see on Facebook. Everything on Facebook that's by a third party is a Facebook app. So by default, the apps have access to your friends list and any information you choose to make public. So you can come here to edit your settings to control what's shared by the apps. And so let's look at what the one example. So I'm going to click on Networked Blogs, and this is an app that I use to take my blog posts and automatically post them to syndicate my blog posts that I prepare on my website, and it syndicates them into my Facebook wall. So if you come over here, you can see that this app has the ability to do all the things that are listed here. Some of them are required, and in order for it to function, those are the things at the top that are. Now, there are some other things on here. It says that it can access my contact information, and I'm going to remove it. It says it can access my friends' contact information. I'm going to remove that. And it says it can manage my pages. And for now, I'm going to leave that because it serves a purpose. Post to Facebook as you. I don't want Networked Blogs posting to Facebook as me, so I'm going to remove that. And it says that it can access my data at any time when I'm not using the application. I'm going to leave that there for the time being because that serves a purpose to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. But you can go on an app by app basis and you can dictate exactly what the app has the ability to do on, as it's related to your profile. Because remember, and every time you sign up for an app, you might remember that you have to tell Facebook to allow this app to have access to your profile. And this is where you're going to control anything else that those apps are able to do on your profile. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the privacy settings. And the next thing is to limit the audience for your past posts. And again, all this does is it allows you to tell Facebook who can see, your timeline. So here's something, and there's a caution sign, and the reason it's there, it's because once you've clicked this limit all posts, you apparently cannot undo it in bulk. So before you use this tool, you want to do a little bit more research to understand exactly how it behaves. But basically what it's doing, the content on your timeline that you've shared with friends of friends or the public, if you click this limit all post, what it does, it removes the ability for friends of friends or public, and it makes it only visible by friends. So that's basically what it's doing. It's limiting who can see it, even though previously you may have given access to the public or friends of friends. And I think what the reason this was created is, you have to remember, before all the changes came to Facebook, there wasn't as much control over posts and timelines and all of that. And so this is a way for you to decide, once you've updated to the new timeline, this gives you the ability to say, you know what, all of my posts I now want only visible to my friends, or you want to just leave them the way they are. The other good news is that you can go on a post by post basis and change who the audience is using the audience visibility, the selector that we looked at, and that was the first thing that we looked at in this video. So again, this is really just to give you the ability to take all of your old stuff that was on Facebook before you change to the new timeline and make it only visible to just your friends. Okay, and a word of warning, once you've done this, the only way to undo it is on a post by post basis. So think it through carefully before you make your choice. Okay. Now, the final thing that we're going to look at in this video is blocked people and apps. So, if there are certain people on Facebook that you don't want to have the ability to access your profile or to see anything on your profile, or there are some people that you just don't even want to be able to find you on Facebook, you can go into this tool, and there's something called Manage Blocking, and you can block users, you can block application invites or app invites, you can block event invites, and you can block apps. Now, I've done some blocking on here just for the sake of demonstration, but you can, excuse me, at any time find somebody on Facebook and you can block them. You would need to know their name, and you put the name in here, and it allows you to call up that person's profile. And if you say block and they have a profile, it'll pop up, and here you are, you can say block it, and then you close it, and that person has been added, and I'm gonna unblock her. That's my lovely niece, so I'll just unblock her. Okay, same thing with events. You can do the same. You can block events and you can unblock events. The same thing with apps. You know, if you don't want to be on Farmville and Mafia Wars and Petville and Fishville and Country Life and all these other apps that keep floating around every day all over your timeline because you've been invited, you can block them. Now, the way you block those is once you get the invite at that time, you can block it from that, or if you've accepted it and now you want to block it on your timeline or in your profile, down the left side somewhere, you should see something that says My Apps or something like that. Apps and Games over here, and you can go there and you can manage blocking them from that perspective rather than using the privacy settings. So there you have it. There are all these things that you can do with your privacy settings, and you know, hopefully it'll make your Facebook experience more pleasant and less stressful, because there are a lot of people who are concerned about privacy and all of the rest. So I hope that you find this video very helpful, and I would appreciate any feedback or any comments and questions that you might have. And I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.